In order to create the flow that you wanted, where somebody enters information into a form, somebody approves, or some other condition occurs, if it doesn't pass that test, it goes back to the original form with the data that he entered for it to be changed. Okay, I'm assuming this is the scenario that you wanted. And so what I created is a project with the following. I have a process. We'll look at that in a moment. I have a data type, which is just a name and a number. I'm assuming that you want more than a single piece of data. So I said you're going to need a data type. Okay. And then I have the start form, which is just instead of your trigger, I create a blank start form. And then I have the info form, which is the form that you enter the information in. And then I have a decision, which essentially converts that data into variables that we can then use. So let's look at the process. Okay, I have a start form. This is completely blank. It is just to start the process. You can do it with a trigger. Then I have a form, and we'll open it up, which I just have a name and an amount. Okay? Both of these are required, okay, which lets me input values for them, okay? That is the whole form. And then I have a decision. This decision just takes in the data and spits it out. This allows it to have another variable that represents the data. So all I did was I have an input parameter. I said I have the name and amount, right, which will come from the form. My output is the output with the data type, so it can include as many fields as I want. I then have a rule. It's basically a blank rule that says any name will spit out the name and the amount into that output. Okay, and that's the whole thing. Now we go back to the process. And then I come to a condition which mimics your approval. And if I open this, it says the amount is greater than 100. I keep going. But if it's not, I go back to the form to input some more. Okay, so let's see how that looks. If I go to the deployed version and I open up the process, I open up the trigger. Okay, and I can open up a new window, and I can say that's my form. My form has nothing on it except a submit button. So I'll click the submit button to start the process. Now I'll go to, let's just undo the zoom, and let's go back to my inbox, and I will refresh it. And now I have my info, which is empty. So I will say Daniel, and I will say 55, and I will submit it. But it will fail the test. So I will refresh, and now it gives me the same thing. Whoops, that was the old one. Now it gives me the same thing with 55, and I can try again, right? We could have added something that said, this is no good. And now I can go, let's say 80, and I can submit it. It will go get approved. I can refresh. And now it says 80, and I can fix it. So I think that's what you wanted, I hope.